And big part of the reason why they blew it is because Draymond Green blew it once again. Blew a gasket. And instead of his fiery presence creating heat for the other team, what he did is he burnt his own house down. Frickin' Draymond. Moses Moody only played 13 minutes. He scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. He was perfect from the floor. He gets yanked out of the game as he's dominating it, which is just, an absurd and borderline indefensible decision for Steve Kerr to try to say he got that right. There was another terrible challenge from Kerr late in that game that left him without a timeout when he needed one at the end of the game to advance the ball past half court. They blew a 24-point lead, and they blew a chance to win their group and play in the in-season tournament. And they were in control of that game. The Warriors were in control of that game until Draymond lost control. And look, I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't know what to say anymore. Steph had a bad turnover late that didn't help. Draymond loses his cool. Clay played well in the first half, but really didn't do a thing in the second half. Kerr coached the game wrong. Kerr screwed that up as much as anyone. And look, I don't mean Steph here, but anyone else on this team that calls himself a leader, you ain't leading. You're not. You're not. Like, Draymond is now almost a working in-game detriment to the Golden State Warriors. Mr. Triple Singles at it again. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, at least 1 technical foul. It's where Draymond refuses to improve. That's the thing, and he's refusing. It's a bold-faced refusal to get better or grow up, and it's intolerable. And the truth is, if we're being completely honest here, is that Draymond is no longer a leader on the Golden State Warriors. He's a rank-and-file player. And I'm wondering if he couldn't be replaced in the aggregate with a combination of Jonathan Kuminga and Trayce Jackson-Davis, and you get a better player between those two than you get out of this one guy right now. Draymond is no longer leader. He's a blowhard. He's an absolute blowhard, and Clay is just in this weird shell of himself space where he is getting selfish and making bad shot choices. Wiggins, let's be totally honest, he couldn't lead a den of Boy Scouts through a hike through the woods, much less an NBA team. So Wiggins is no leader at all. To put it on Looney to do anything other than, rebound and play by example is a ridiculous ask of him. And Steph just, he's not a screamer. He's not a vocal guy. Obviously, Steve Kerr's not going to do a thing to reel Draymond in, not that Draymond will actually listen to anyways. And Draymond just, he won't learn. He won't learn. He refuses to learn. Kendra Andrews reported last night that Kings guard Malik Monk basically said that when Green got his technical foul in the fourth quarter, the Kings knew that was their moment to strike. Because there is no greater indication of the Warriors are about to shit their pants than watching Draymond Green actually shit his pants. A high school coach. Any high school coach in America, any JV high school coach in America could come up with the game plan to beat the Golden State Warriors. It's real simple. You double Steph Curry the minute he crosses half court. You trap him whenever possible, and you let the rest of these guys wearing Warriors uniforms just blow it. That's it. That's how you beat the Warriors. That's how everyone has come out and beat the Warriors this year. Hold back Steph a little bit. Let him get his in some instances, but the more anyone other than Steph shoots, the closer the other team gets to victory. And if we're just being brutally honest here, Draymond is no longer part of a winning equation for the Golden State Warriors. If he can't grow up, which he refuses to do, he's not a part of the winning equation. He isn't. Draymond, he's the ultimate defender. He's the ultimate switcher. He's the ultimate winner. No, he's not. He's not. Not anymore, he's not. He can't shut up. And the guy who can't shut up, by definition, is not a leader. He can't blame this on Jordan Poole. Do you ever run into the guy or gal who's had a lot of roommates in a shared apartment, and all they do is complain about their roommates, and this roommate stinks, and that roommate stinks, and this roommate's tough to live with, and this person was tough to live with, and now we're on roommate number 5, and I don't like roommate number 5 either? At that point, maybe the asshole is you. Draymond Green is not helping. We're 18 games into his 4-year extension. He's already been suspended for 5 of them. It's not even December 1st, and the guy is just in flaming asshole mode. He missed the front part of the year due to an injury, so he's only played in 10 games. And you're not helping the team. I mean, what more do you want? Like, a coach should be able to walk up to a player and say, all right, you're officially hurting us now. Do I have your full attention? Steve Kerr needs to bench his ass. Sit him down. We'll play you again when you grow up. It's getting intolerable. And you're telling me there are 3 and more than a half years remaining of this? Acts like my 4-year-old. Governed by emotions in the moment, which he cannot control. It's absurd. It's absurd. This is no longer Draymond getting a tech, firing up his own team, Draymond. This is Draymond getting a tech, and the other team is thinking, nailed it. Bingo. Pulled on that thread on the sweater enough for it to start unraveling. It's so easy to get under Draymond's skin. I told you weeks ago, he handed the entire league a blueprint, how to get this asshole out of the game. And he keeps on showing everybody how easy it is to do. Let me ask you this, the direct question for Draymond. Draymond, I hope you're watching. Here's my direct question to you, Draymond Green. When has not being able to stop jawing at an official worked? When has Mr. Big mouth flapping helped the Golden State Warriors? Show me the one time in 12 years that it worked. Show me the one time that Draymond came away from not being able to shut up with an official to where it was like, oh, and now everything went the Warriors' way. That was great. It was great that Draymond never stopped talking during that entire free throw sequence, doesn't stop yelling at an official. When does it work? It never does. You get no benefit of the doubt. Everybody in the NBA, except for your own teammates, and maybe even some of them, hate you, Draymond. Everyone. The opponents hate you. The commissioner hates you. Everyone hates you. You're an asshole. I mean, I don't know what to say. You're not who you think you are anymore. He hit a couple of threes last night. Doesn't matter. He can't stop pissing down his own leg like a 4-year-old having a temper tantrum. Name me the one time Draymond flapping his gums has worked. When was it? When did that happen? Maybe this guy has bought into some I need to live my own truth shit and feels like I have the right to do this. Dude, if you know where the line is and you refuse to stop crossing it, you're a jerk off. I just don't know what to tell you. You're a jerk off if you can't stop crossing the obvious line that you can't stop crossing every single night almost. It's one thing to be the agitator in the middle of winning. It's another thing to be an agitator that is dialing up losses more than it does wins. And that's where Draymond is in his career right now. He is at the center of failure, not at the center of victory. And Steve Kerr needs to do something. And I don't know what he can do. This dog is officially off the leash, and I don't know if you can reel him in. Draymond's got no desire to learn a single lesson that the NBA has put in front of him in no uncertain or fuzzy terms. You have the shortest leash in the league. Stop acting like an asshole. Nope. Refuses to do it. The guy is literally caught flopping, trying to sell an injury that didn't happen. He's rolling around on the court. Get up, sweetheart. Run back down and play some defense, since that's basically kind of all you're good for these days. Draymond is now embarrassed that his flopaholic didn't work. So now he thinks there should be a carrying call, and he's mocking the official with a carrying call, which nobody else, Curry was doing this. And he's not getting attacked, but Draymond does that and you get attacked because nobody likes you. Nobody likes you, including many Warriors fans these days. Like, there's no way, you can't tell me that Steve Kerr isn't sick of this guy. Again, it's one thing to be the asshole in the center of victory. It's another thing entirely to be the asshole in the center of losing. I could get Draymond ejected from any single game I ever coached or played against him. I could do it in the first quarter. We set an over-under for sip of the day. I could get Draymond ejected by the end of the first quarter in every single game I coached or played against him if I were on the opposing team. It would be easy. It'd be the easiest part of my game plan. Getting under Draymond's skin is as easy as what? What's the easiest thing to do in sports? Getting underneath Draymond's skin is probably right up there. That guy is a mental midget when it comes to watch me piss my own pants. He really is. He really is. And what it's honestly, here's the thing, Draymond, and I hope this hurts. I hope that you hear this and this stings. You are, when it comes to mental toughness, a fraud. Draymond Green, when it comes to mental toughness, is a fraud. Because if all you are is a talker to everybody else, but you can't control your own emotions, you're a mental toughness fraud. I'm just a fiery competitor. No, not really. No, I know what fiery competition looks like, and I know what a guy who just can't stop talking, even though it's about to hurt his own team, looks like, and that's what you look like, Draymond. You rattle as easy as my 4-year-old son. One of his favorite stuffed animals was unfortunately left in Los Angeles, and my kid is just rattled. It's like Draymond. Just rattled. Easily rattled. And again, this is my 4-year-old son, governed by emotion and emotion only. Can't reel himself in. Draymond is a 33-year-old NBA veteran with rings in his 12th season, and he refuses to grow up. And, if Jordan Poole was the reason why you think you lost your voice in the locker room last year, it might have been part of it, but you are more responsible for your teammates tuning you out than anything you ever did with Jordan Poole. Draymond, there are enough OGs on this basketball team to know what a fraud looks and sounds like, and you're starting to, I think, remind your own teammates of it. Just an emotional roller coaster every single game. Grow up. Kenny Smith on TNT last night said, when you think of Draymond Green, and we all love Draymond individually, he comes in and we love him. But we're at a point, if you're apologizing consistently, then you're actually in the wrong. There are no more apologies. This is his third apology in his last 6 months. He's too good of a player, too seasoned of a player to keep apologizing. At 22, 23, 24, you can keep apologizing. But at this stage of your career, a champion, we should be out of the apology stage of your career. It's up to Steve Kerr to do that with the accountability phase of Steve Kerr's coaching career. Again, I don't know why Steve Kerr is playing Corey Joseph over Brandon Podziemski. I don't know why Moses Moody is literally saving everybody's bacon and lobbying for more minutes in real time with actual in-game stud performance, and Kerr puts him back on the bench. Why don't you revert to the theory that you were more than willing to run as you were punting on a game in Phoenix the night before Thanksgiving, where you left your bench in because they had earned the right to finish the game? How did Moses Moody not earn the right to finish that game last night? He's your only offense in the fourth quarter. Again, because what do? You just double Steph. You trap him everywhere he goes, and there you go. Clay's taking bad shots. He had a good first half, bad second half. Again, Andrew Wiggins, even when he succeeds, who cares? Like, the Warriors are a mess. And as they're currently constructed, they're not going to win a goddamn thing this year. But for Steph Curry, every single guy on this team should be an option to be traded. Every single guy not named Steph Curry. And Mike Dunleavy needs to do something. Because we're about 20 games in, and I've seen enough. They're not going to be a contender this year as they're currently built, as they're currently playing, as Steve Kerr is currently botching rotations and letting Draymond Green just act like a buffoon whenever it fits Draymond's Green modus operandi. The only saving grace to this Warriors season is that it's not even December yet. Like, I almost went live last night on YouTube, but I can't pretend that we need to do like an emergency post game because it's still so early in the season. But the Warriors blew an opportunity to play in the first ever in-season tournament. If that means something to them, they blew it. If it doesn't mean something to them, who cares? But what I'm seeing out of this team is a whole bunch of veterans that make rookie mistakes and a 33-year-old overpay who can't control his emotions. Oh, and play Trace Jackson Davis. How about that?